Hey, Celtics Nation! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. Something's not sitting right in Boston, folks. Something weird is brewing inside that Celtics locker room, and it's coming straight from the top. Head coach Joe MAZZULLA, the man who's usually calm, collected, and super cryptic with the media, just dropped a bombshell. Yeah, you heard me, a full-on bombshell. During a recent media interaction that felt more like a confession booth than a press conference, MAZZULLA hinted that there may be a bad apple in the bunch. That's right, he didn't name names, but he said something along the lines of there's a player contaminating the locker room. Oh, now, we don't know if he meant that metaphorically, like someone messing with the team's chemistry, or literally, as in someone's behavior is infecting the culture. Either way, it's a serious statement, and when a coach makes that kind of comment, you better believe it means trouble is brewing. Think about it. This is the Boston Celtics, one of the most structured organizations in the NBA. For MAZZULLA to go public with something so vague yet so heavy, it means he's sending a message, either to the media or, more likely, directly to the player in question. But who is it? Now, before we start throwing names around, let's dissect what contaminating the locker room really means in NBA language. Coaches don't use that kind of phrasing lightly. It's not a term you just drop into casual conversation. That's a loaded statement. It suggests a presence that is affecting the mood, the energy, maybe even the trust among players. Contamination can mean anything from selfish play on the court to behind-the-scenes drama, gossiping, cliques, players not buying into the system. Think Kyrie Irving during the end of his Boston run. Remember how tense that got. There's always that one player who starts to pull away, stops buying into the coach's vision, and that rot spreads. So is MAZZULLA trying to warn the front office? Is this a subtle cry for help to Brad Stevens? Or maybe it's a chess move to push a player out? These are the questions fans and insiders are asking right now, and in a season where the Celtics are poised for a deep playoff run, this kind of internal friction could be a ticking time bomb. It only takes one bad vibe to unravel an entire championship dream. And here's the kicker, there's already speculation swirling online. Reddit threads are blowing up, Celtics Twitter is in full meltdown mode, and even former players are chiming in with cryptic posts. Some are pointing fingers at a few bench players who haven't been performing or showing visible frustration during games. Others are throwing shade at the big names because, let's face it, when a coach drops a line like that, everyone wants to know if the problem starts at the top of the rotation. Could it be someone who's unhappy with their minutes? Someone who thought they'd have a bigger role this season but ended up sidelined? The NBA is a league full of ego and expectations, and when a guy feels disrespected, it shows. But here's the thing, MAZZULLA is no rookie coach anymore. If he's bringing this issue up now, it means it's not new. It means it's been festering for a while, and maybe, just maybe, it's reached the point of no return. This could be a warning to the player, shape up or get out. Or it could be a message to the front office. It's time to make a move. Let's talk about timing, too. Why now? Why would Joe MAZZULLA make this kind of comment at this point in the season? That's what's really suspicious. The Celtics have been rolling. They're in championship form. The locker room looks united, but maybe it's all a facade. Maybe things have been boiling beneath the surface, and now MAZZULLA's letting the lid off the pot. Coaches don't like surprises in the playoffs, and if he senses that someone's energy is off, he's going to address it before it costs them everything. But what if this is bigger than a personal beef? What if this is about influence, about a player whispering negativity, second-guessing plays, making others question the system? That kind of contamination spreads like wildfire. One guy saying, "Man, why do we always run that set?" Or "Why's Joe always giving him the ball?" That stuff can destroy team morale. And let's be real, Celtics fans know how fragile chemistry is. It only takes one spark to burn the whole thing down. And with the media now picking up on this quote, you better believe the locker room knows they're being watched. Every side-eye, every post-game comment, it's all under a microscope now. Now let's pivot to the possible suspects. Again, no one's naming names. But let's just look at the roster. There are a few veterans who have bounced around the league and may have their own views on how things should be run. Maybe they're not vibing with MAZZULLA's system. Maybe they feel they've earned more say. Then you've got the young guys, hungry, talented, but impatient. If they're not getting enough burn, they might start sulking, pulling away, or venting to the media. It could be a clash of generations, personalities, or even just playing styles. Maybe one player doesn't like being a catch-and-shoot guy. Maybe someone feels they're being asked to do too much defensively and it's affecting their offense. All of that builds up over a season. MAZZULLA's comment didn't come out of nowhere. It's not just about one incident, it's about a pattern. And patterns in the NBA always lead somewhere: a trade, a benching, or a full-blown locker room explosion. And while the team may present a unified front to the media, you better believe the tension's real behind closed doors. The question now is, how long can they keep it hidden? Of course, there's also the wild theory that this was intentional, like next-level coaching psychology. Think about it. What if MAZZULLA wanted this out there? What if he purposely dropped that contaminating line to shake things up? Light a fire under the guys. Maybe it's a message to the whole team: get your heads right. Coaches have done this before. Phil Jackson was a master at it. He'd call out the team publicly to get them to rally together, to find a common enemy. Could MAZZULLA be pulling a similar move here? The Celtics are a veteran team, full of talent. But sometimes that leads to complacency. A comment like this jolts the locker room. It forces players to look at each other, to ask, is he talking about me? Or is he talking about him? That self-awareness, that inner reflection, it might just be the spark the Celtics need heading into the playoffs. But it's a dangerous game. If players start distrusting each other, the whole team dynamic crumbles. So yeah, if this is a mind game, it's a risky one. MAZZULLA better hope it brings them together, not tears them apart. Because the margin between contender and pretender is razor thin. But maybe, just maybe, this wasn't for the players at all. Maybe this was aimed at the front office. We know how these things go. Sometimes coaches feel pressure, expectations from management, tension over player decisions, disagreements about who should be playing when, and when those frustrations build, coaches send messages through the media. There's a player contaminating the locker room. Could be MAZZULLA's way of saying, I need help. Maybe he's asking Brad Stevens to step in, to make a trade, to shift the rotation. It's a power play, and it's not uncommon in the NBA. Remember when Erik Spoelstra started benching big names in Miami to send a message? It's all part of the chessboard. But if that's the case, then the stakes just got a lot higher. Because now it's not just about internal team dynamics, it's about the direction of the franchise. Are the Celtics all in on this core? Is MAZZULLA trying to push someone out? Or is he fighting for control of his own team? These are the kinds of questions that never get answered directly. You have to read between the lines, and right now, those lines are getting blurrier by the day. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Let's not forget how volatile the NBA ecosystem can be. One comment can spark a week of speculation, but it can also spark real consequences. What happens now depends on how the Celtics players react. If the team rallies, if they win games, and stay locked in, this whole thing blows over. MAZZULLA's comment becomes a footnote in a title run. But if they slip, if the vibes feel off, if guys start playing for themselves, if body language sours, then this becomes the storyline of the season. Contamination in a locker room isn't just about one player. It spreads, it creates doubt, breaks trust, and makes players second-guess every move. Every huddle becomes tense, every timeout becomes a mini crisis. And you better believe the media will pounce on it if things go south. This quote will be replayed over and over again. It'll define the season. So whether MAZZULLA meant it as a warning, a challenge, or a desperate plea, it's now part of the Celtics' reality. And the clock is ticking. Either they get rid of the contamination or they risk watching their championship hopes rot from the inside out. And fans, they're not taking this lightly. Boston sports fans are some of the most passionate, intense, and informed in the world. They dissect every press conference like it's a government leak. MAZZULLA's comment hit like a lightning bolt. Forums are on fire. YouTubers, podcasters, and analysts are all over it. Everyone's asking the same thing. Who is it? Who's dragging this team down from the inside? Is it a star who's quietly beefing with the coach? A bench player sowing doubt? A rookie with an ego problem? And the speculation only makes things worse. Players read the comments. They feel the heat, even if you're not the one being blamed. It affects you. It gets into your head. Suddenly every missed shot is interpreted as he's the problem. That's the danger of vague statements. It creates a fog over the team. A cloud that hangs over every game, Every practice, every interview, unless MAZZULLA or the front office clears it up fast, this thing will spiral, and if it turns into a witch hunt, forget chemistry, forget focus, the Celtics will be playing under a microscope. And that's never a recipe for success, of course. There's always the nuclear option, the trade. If MAZZULLA and the front office really believe that someone is poisoning the locker room, they might cut ties. We've seen it before. Teams have traded talented players just to restore chemistry. Look at what happened with Jimmy Butler in Minnesota, or D'Angelo Russell with the Lakers. Sometimes it's not about talent, it's about fit, about energy. And if the Celtics think there's a long-term risk to keeping this player around, they might pull the trigger. The trade deadline might be months away, but moves can happen anytime. A mid-season shakeup could be just what the doctor ordered. And if MAZZULLA's already made his peace with losing a player, then his comment makes sense. It's the soft launch of a breakup, a way to prepare the public, the media, even the team for what's coming. We don't know who it is yet, but rest assured the Celtics know. They're watching, evaluating, planning, and if that player doesn't change course fast, the next press conference might not be a cryptic warning, it might be a farewell. At the end of the day, this is what makes the NBA so fascinating. It's not just about the games, it's about the stories, the personalities, the drama. Joe MAZZULLA didn't just coach a game, he lit a match. And now the whole NBA world is watching to see what burns. Maybe this turns into nothing. Maybe the team comes together, silences the noise, and makes a run for the title. That's the dream. But maybe this is the beginning of something much bigger and unraveling, a reset, a turning point. Whatever happens, one thing's for sure, the Celtics season just got a whole lot more interesting. And if you're a fan, buckle up, because this kind of tension doesn't just fade away. It builds, it evolves, it explodes, and when it does, we'll be right here to break it all down, minute by minute, rumor by rumor. Until then, keep your eyes on Boston, because this isn't just a story about a quote, it's a story about a team that might be breaking from the inside, one quiet, powerful word at a time. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.